Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, in an attempt to be healthier, I decided to make grilled chicken tacos at home, but of course ended up eating 2.5 adult-sized servings. And so now, stuffed to the gills, I sit down to watch Barles playing as the Mongols in blue as he gets ready to duke it out with the Viper playing as the Hindustanis in yellow. Now all the players heard their herdables explore their immediate surroundings and try to get their butts up to Feudal Age ASAP. Not a bad time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup that we are going to be watching today. Now, the Mongols are an incredibly fast cavalry-centric civilization. Their scout line units come with extra line of sight. Their cav archers fire faster. Their scout line units and steppe lancers come with more HP starting in Castle Age. And their unique unit is the Mangadai, a fast-firing quick cavalry archer unit with an attack bonus against siege. Now, to keep up with their very lightning-fast army on the battlefield, Mongol siege units can be upgraded to move 50% faster. That helps support their military endeavors, get their army out on the field of battle ASAP. Mongol hunters also work 40% faster than normal, and their houses, of all things, can be upgraded so that they don't lose their population space if they get destroyed. Now, who, you might ask, might want to destroy Mongol housing in this particular matchup? We've got the Viper playing as the Hindustanis in yellow, a civilization that pushes its players towards an army composition of gunpowder and camels. All Hindustani gunpowder units come with extra +1/+1 armor, and their hand cannoneers can be upgraded to get +2 extra range. Now, the camels also come with a few cool features to start with an attack bonus against buildings, which addresses one of my main issues with camels, which is that they absolutely suck at destroying buildings. Hindustani camels also attack 20% faster, and they have access to the Imperial Camel Rider, a fairly strong, very tanky, super fast upgraded version of the already awesome and dangerous Heavy Camel Rider. Now, in order to defend their hand cannoneers, their camels, from pesky ranged units that might want to attack them on the field of battle, the Hindustanis can field a second unique unit, the Gulam. This is an anti-archer infantry unit that moves quickly, has a high amount of pierce armor, an attack bonus against archers, and whose spear can actually injure multiple units at once. So clumpers, beware. Now, in order to support the quick production of their expensive army, Hindustani villagers get more and more cheaper. More and more cheaper? They get cheaper and cheaper as the game goes on. Currently in the Dark Age, Hindustanis have an 8% discount on villagers. That goes up to 23% cheaper villagers if we're lucky enough to see this game go into Imperial. And the Hindustanis can make their economy, not the very ugly deer attack there, but I guess better than nothing. Hindustanis can make their economy incredibly efficient by not only increasing the speed of all gold income, which, by the way, does include relic income, but at the same time reducing the market commodity trading fee from 30% to 10%, which makes it the second lowest in the game after, of course, the one we saw yesterday, the Saracens. And what the hell is going on this map already? I am loving 2025. I don't know how your new year went or how your year has begun, but docks in the back on Arabia is definitely something I want to see more of. Why the hell not? There's a little bit of water. Why not make use of it? Let's remove the fog of war. Now that we've seen how much of the map the players have explored, looks like Barles has explored quite a large chunk of the map. Not exactly surprising, since the Mongol scout does come with a +2 line of sight, as I mentioned earlier on. But let's see. He's pushing the deer. He's pulling the boar. He's harvesting the, what are we working with today? Turkeys. And so let's remove the line of sight. Let's see how the battlefield looks. And then we'll take a look at the bases of the players. But already I'm loving this. Ooh, a couple of lakes. So are we going to get to see more? I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lakes that I can see already on the minimap. Wall off already beginning. Our Mongol wants to make a real quick start of this. And so the attack path between the two bases, let's zoom out a little bit. Ooh, full of forests. Full of some small hills. So not exactly the cleanest path. And we'll see which civilization makes use of this the most. For now, the Viper is heading a little bit off campus here, a little bit far west, but I'm sure he'll pivot northeast soon enough and discover where Barles is located. Let's see what his base looks like. Primary gold to the front, primary stone in a backwards 3 shape to the rear, and then he's got a bit of extra gold to the back, which he's already starting to wall off, which I don't mind at all. But extra gold very far to the bottom left, extra stone very far to the bottom right. So 3 of the 5 starting resources kind of in the forward position and exposed, and the Viper is going to discover. Ooh, wait a second. Maybe not. Maybe the Viper won't discover. he has not seen the stone. He's seen the 4 patch of gold, so he knows he's in the right area. Now he's going to see the main gold with 7 little squares. So he's going to kind of know he's in the right direction, right general location. He hits Feudal, and then when you hit Feudal, your scout gets so much better, becomes so much more effective at scouting. It moves faster, line of sight increase, attack also increases, so your ability to snipe villagers also gets much better. And that rattling sound tells us the Mongol is also now in the Feudal Age. So both players in Feudal. Viper, like where his primary gold is, right to the back. His normal shaped 3. Look at this. Not every day you see a reversal. All the little things that I focus on that make absolutely no sense or no one really cares about. But primary stone and gold kind of secure off to the side of the base. But unfortunately, second and tertiary golds in the very much forward position. Extra stone to the back, a relic to the back, some forest to the back as well. So both players have some decent starting positions. I don't think the Viper has explored this far north. And so he has probably no clue that there are a good number of fishing ships. We're already going up to 4 fishing ships now. I'm not too sure the Mongols have any bonuses on the water, which is to say I don't think they do. And Barles is already continuing to wall. So a lot of wood investment here for our Mongol, who really only has 1 extra villager on wood at the moment. The Viper moving forward with an army of 3 scouts. Spearman is probably at home. Yeah, there he is on the defensive side of things. Not too far behind when it comes to lumberjacks. 10 to 11. Barles might want to increase. Okay, now it's 11 to 13. Now it's 11 to 17. And there you go. If you want to start plopping down infrastructure at the 10-minute mark with a dock, by the way, full price dock, not exactly a Viking dock here, you need a lot of lumberjacks. And so we'll see right now currently a number of idle fishing ships here. I'm not sure. Some of them are collecting food, but I feel like a number of these fishing ships are kind of idle. And Barles, will he make it in time here? Oh my goodness, this is one of the dangers of carving off too big a portion of the map is how the hell do you hold this portion of the map? I mean, it applied to the Roman Empire, got a little bit too big for its britches, and it applies in the real-time strategy games like Age of Empires. I mean, if the Viper attacked into here, he probably would have busted in, right? Because there's no way that Barles' army could have reached him in time. No way that that villager would have gotten there in time. But the Viper, 6 scouts to 4. There is 1 spearman, but 1 spearman is not exactly going to show. I'm surprised that the Viper isn't just turning around and attacking the spearman right now. Does he even know it's there? Maybe not. Now he definitely does. And so the Feudal Age tango begins. Everyone tries to avoid the counter unit while trying to snipe any unit they can. Barles has to be careful not to expose his spearmen too much. Viper has to be careful not to just run in with his scouts into spearmen. And let's see how well our wall of now we're backing up with stone walls. Oh man. I mean, Barles is expecting some good amount of aggression out of our Hindustani. And to be fair, our Hindustani is not really doing anything to dispute that, since he's already here with a good number of scouts. 6 have become 7. He's added a spearman of his own. And to be fair, secondary stone, tertiary gold are being left outside. Primary gold is also not being mined. Neither is the secondary gold at the moment. And so no precious resources for our Mongol, while our Hindustani has 5 on gold. More fishing ships. And now regarding traps as well. Oh man, this is going to be a fun matchup. This is going to be a very fun. So I mean, in terms of matchups, you expect some lightning fast maneuvers here out of both players. So micro is going to be a very fun thing to watch between these 2 players. I mean, anytime you watch the Viper, micro is always something you look out for. But with the Mongols and the Hindustanis, Hera has famously said that the one major weakness among, I guess, a number of them, but the major weakness of the Mongols is camel units. And when it comes to camel units, yesterday we saw the Gurjaras, today we're watching the Hindustanis, camels that attack 20% faster, Imperial camel riders. I mean, these are some fairly risky units. Okay. The Viper spearmen are defending the scouts. Not too sure who drew first blood here, but the kill count very much firmly in favor. I'm getting my expressions mixed up here, in favor of Barles, who absolutely wipes the Viper off the face of the earth. 12 kills to 5. And again, let's see, Stonewall to the left. kind of, but not really. Double wall here in the center. More structures, double wall off with a market to the north. So forget mining gold. He's probably just going to buy his way up. The Viper, for his part, completely open at the moment, exposing 3 archers, but they do manage to get 1 scout for their troubles. Now he's going after the reinforcing archer, who enters into no man's land and falls as well. So kill count not looking too good here for our Hindustani in yellow, who emergency wall off beginning here, pulls all of his gold villagers. Now the Viper looks like he is a little bit closer to clicking up to Castle Age. He did have the gold a second ago, right up until he started training another archer. So that's 45 gold that he's spending on military. Barles is going to see that this base is completely open, not walled in, not walled off, nothing at all. And the Viper's clicking up, but only 7 seconds ahead of his opponent. He's down 8 villagers as our Hindustani. Not something you expect to see, but he invested so much of his resources, so many chicken nuggets and gold and pieces of 2x4s into his army, that his economy is just, now it's 9 villagers behind. Not something you really expect out of the Hindustanis, who currently are paying 13% less for their villagers. Gonna go up to 18% once he hits Castle Age. Of course, the developers can't make it easy. It used to be, what, it used to be 5, 10, 15, 20. Now it's 8, 13, 18, 23. You know what I'm going to do? Every time I cast the Hindustanis, I'm just going to have a post-it note on my computer screen that shows exactly what the price of a villager is throughout the game. Barles patrolling the southern reaches, Barles patrolling the northern reaches. How many fishing ships? I mean, he's playing this very much like Black Forest. A 10th fishing ship comes out, and a fishing trap goes down as well. Tell me that's it, right? Yeah, I don't think you can fit any more in here, unless maybe there's some space behind here that you can fit. In any event, our Mongol keeping tabs on where our Hindustani is. The Viper mining the gold to the back. Has our Hindustani, by the way, started mining gold at all? Yeah, he's mining his secondary gold to the rear. So that primary patch that's making part of his wall off in the front is being left untouched. I'm not a big fan of that. If you've watched my casts, you know I'm a big fan of mining the riskier resources first, so that if you ever do get attacked, I mean, once this gets depleted to the back, if he starts mining this is very easily lamed, since it's actually literally part of a wall off. This, don't even talk to me about this one. And so it's going to be very hard for Barles to mine extra gold if he mines this out first, but with 4 villagers only and no risk of mining that out. Second TC going up for him next to the wood line. Second and third going up for the Viper. 1 next to the wood line in the gold. Decent location. 1 next to the wood line as well. Looks like Barles is still here with a Feudal Age army trying to make something happen. Some spearmen attacking villagers to the right. I'm sure these villagers could just attack right back. I don't think they're in any risk of dying here. But 2 full health. Now light cav, and remember, these are Mongol light cav, which means in Castle Age they come with 20% more HP. Unfortunately, they did not get the job done, neither spearmen nor light cav, because this town center is up, firing arrows, kills 2 spearmen, and now this 1 villager who looked like she was going to die, the first vill kill of the game, does survive, but Barles manages to get 1 nonetheless as she runs away with her basket full of whatever the hell farmers till here in Age of Empires. The Viper's on the other side of the map. He's going to explore and discover a wall off right as he shoots his opponent. Okay. Camels are out with husbandry, without husbandry. And so they will catch up to this light cavalry any second now. Kill him, which leaves the 1 spearman here to die. He was not here for a long time, but he was here for a good time. Unfortunately, not that good of a time. Didn't really get much done. Poking and prodding at those villagers constructing the TC. Didn't really accomplish very much. Another super weak Mongol scout will fall. Jaguar springs into action. Another super weak Mongol scout slash light cav will fall. And the Viper, he's starting to reclaim that kill count. 16 to 17. He has lost 2 villagers. Defensive castle. Do the camels see it? They do see it. Remember, these are Hindustani camels. This is a Hindustani light cav. I should have mentioned that the camels +2 attack bonus against buildings also applies to the Hindustani light cavalry units, which do come with a +2 attack bonus against buildings. Castle on the high ground manages to snipe kill and arrest all of that development. University going up as well. So Barles, first of all, how the hell is he even exiting his base? Okay, there's a gate here. And this is what I was talking about. You can park even some basic feudal age fletching archers here, and they're going to be so annoying to mine this gold. This is why I think Barles should have probably taken this gold earlier. Of course, I'm not going to tell a player with 2789 elo how the hell to play this game with my 0 elo. But ooh, that was so close. They've got Bodkin now. But the Mangadai is out. We're seeing another one, and we're seeing 2 more coming out. Did you get one of those archers? Camels, hut, the hell out of here. Now, in all fairness, the camel should probably be here, should probably be supporting these feudal age archers. This is very unfortunate. The remnants of an age gone by are now dead. Ballistics for yellow, ballistics already gotten for blue. What are they doing? Where are they going? They're on a mission of exploration, but they're, okay. As staggered as they are, they're not exactly in the maybe ideal formation for exploring the map. Now the Viper's monk is moving forward, does see the relic here to the left. We'll see who gathers the relics. I don't see a monastery being placed here for our Mongol, which tells me he has absolutely no interest. Never mind. Which tells me I need to get some glasses as a monastery gets plopped down right in front of my very nose. Elite skirmishers are the response of the Viper. So he's going to slow down the game with a bipedal unit here. 10 of them, 12 of them. They're going to have +2 attack. They're going to have +1 armor in a second. So they should be able to zone out these Mangadai. A 3rd castle. Pardon me, a 2nd castle being added to our Mongol base. The Viper going up to a 4th TC. Returning home with a relic. Okay. But he's going to have to go the long way around because the Mongol is already here. And why the hell has the Viper not walled in any portion of his base? And this is where the lightning fast attack speed of the Mangadai really comes in handy, even against a counter unit like the Skirmisher. Man, the Skirmisher firing at 3 seconds. The Mangadai 1.68, and that's without thumb ring, right? Yeah, he doesn't have thumb ring yet. So with thumb ring, they fired twice as fast. Where did that monk think he was going? Sacrificing his life, returning a relic about 90% of the way home. 3 camels done exploring are now going to try to cut off these Mangadai. Let's see if they manage to do so. Yeah, the Mangadai is going to have to be careful. This does, as cool as this unit is, as fast as it is not as fast as a camel, and still does have cavalry armor, which means these camels do +9 attack bonus against them. That being said, this camel rider has no army. No armor. Pardon me, no army. No armor. It is completely naked and afraid. Which is one of the great shows, one of the great reality TV shows of our time. If you have not watched any Naked and Afraid, which I discovered on a trip to Prague in the Czech Republic, watching a channel in here's international globalization for you. A Canadian in Prague watching an Italian TV station, a show called Tutti Frutti, and they were talking about a show called Naked and Afraid. Monk goes down, so okay, the Viper gets revenge. 1 monk who died of mine, I'm gonna get 1 of yours. Very off-campus castle here, as he's gonna try to defend that stone, get that gold. But the premise of the show is they drop a bunch of people who are literally naked into the jungles, into the forests, into the deserts, the tundras, wherever the hell they go, wherever the season is. It's like Survivor. Every year is a different location, and they can bring like 1 tool with them, and usually they bring a knife or a flint to make fire. And they literally are naked. And so they're just like kind of left out in the jungles. Some of them get bitten by snakes and have to be helicoptered out. It's an amazing show. In any event, you're not here to watch my take on a reality TV show, as a couple of light cav are going to kill these skirmishers. Not so sure where these two think they're going. You should not be running towards this light cav. You should be running away from the light cav. Mr. Minimum Range going to betray me, and now I'm dead. As it looks like Barles is moving his soldiers out on the map. Both players going up to Imperial. The Viper about a minute behind his opponent. Not the end of the world here. Barles' army, though it does seem large and maneuverable, it's not exactly a quick game-ending unit. So a minute is not exactly the end of the world. If he had 3 or 4 mangonels, I would say maybe that's a bit of a problem. But mostly Mangadai, and as fast as they are, they're not going to take down structures very well. We've got Gulam action out on the map as well. They're going to close in on the one unit they don't have an attack bonus against. Unfortunately for the Viper, right here, right now, in this particular quadrant that we're watching on the map, he is significantly outnumbered. Although more infrastructure up for him. He's now down only 2 villagers, which, to be fair, 117 to 119 isn't really that big of a deal. It's pretty much not a deal at all. And Barles is losing Mangadai. As much as these camels are focusing on the light cap to the back, the skirmishers are starting to get work done here. Although they've got to be careful. Very shitty attack right out of Barles. He's going to lose his Mangonel. Will he lose that Mangadai on the way out? He doesn't. Look at the HP on these units. They're down to literally half of their HP. And no, Viper, why did you tether your fast unit to your slow unit? Oh, why do players do this? Look at them snaking their way through the map on the low ground for some reason. Viper says, you know what's better than 1 castle? 2 castles. As he is 20 seconds away from Imperial Elite, Mangadai, Thumb Ring, Bracer, and Chemistry. So our Mongol with another castle, his 3rd, I can finally say correctly, is going to double down on these lightning fast units. And now with Thumb Ring, look at the attack speed, 1.4 seconds. I mean, come on. That's less than a second in real time. Because if you take a look at the bottom of your screen, we are watching games at 1.7 seconds video game time compared to your usual 1 second human time. And the Viper, by the way, still not walled in. Still completely uncaring about the lives of his villagers. Callously throwing them to the wind if our Mongol decides to penetrate. By the way, did our Mongol ever see the castle? No. He's about as blind to this castle as the Viper is to this fishing industry. And are we still working with 10 fishing ships? Of course we are. Okay, he's going to discover at least one of these castles. Is our blue Mongol. Oh, never mind. Right as I say that, to the right side of the map. Raiding party moves in. 1/4 of them die. And now the camels. Oh, the Viper trying to wall this in. But this isn't walled in at all. What is going on with our Hindustani? Who is, to be fair, going up to heavy camel riders. I'm hoping we get to see Imperial. That is not a cheap upgrade. Heavy camel is a fairly inexpensive one, but the Imperial camel rider upgrade is a little bit more expensive. The rear attack has stalled, died. It looks like a camel or 2 have bitten the dust, or maybe 7. But now we are approaching, unfortunately for the Viper, what looks like critical mass of Mangadai. 19 of them. Oh, goodness gracious. Another monk, another villager, all in exchange for some light cavalry units. I mean, these trades are going very much in Barles' favor right now, as he brings his army to bear, constantly moving, constantly expanding his reach of the Mongol Empire, and more importantly, constantly scouting the Viper and seeing where his TCs are, where his buildings are, where his villagers are. And this is pretty much how you play the Mongols out of Barles. I mean, this is like almost chef's kiss. And now he's got those freaking 118 HP Mongol Hussars. And this is going to be incredibly dangerous for the Viper, who still does not have murder holes. Because, of course, pro players then be allergic to murder holes. Trebs moving forward. More Hussars. More Mangadai. 25 of them fully upgraded. Absolutely risky play here by the Viper, not keeping his base closed in, but his Imperial Camel is keeping tabs on this quarry. We'll see how much damage that one unit can cause here. Are these enough Mangadai? Now, Mangadai not exactly the hardest hitting of units, to be fair. They do attack only on a 12, which for a cavalry archer is great, don't get me wrong, but in just the totality, the sum of this game is not exactly the hardest hitting unit, especially not when Hussars are on an 11 and they're a trash unit. But it's really their mobility, their attack speed, and that bonus against siege that makes them so freaking deadly. Oh, Treb pops out at the worst possible time, but Barles is on the retreat, so won't get it. Camel's body block this one. I'm not even sure Barles Viper really meant to do that, but his massive Imperial Camels did block that one Hussar, and now the meat shield is starting to dwindle here. And all of a sudden, our Hindustani has a fairly scary army. There's also some action to the center of the map, as it looks like the Viper has discovered the location of that center castle. Trebs are down. Now, the Imperial Camel Rider, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the attack bonuses are still the same, but it's the HP that really goes up. The attack speed also with the 20% faster makes it such a dangerous unit. But that's it. The pressure's off. Looks like a camel died here to some Mangudai. Maybe not Mangudai, maybe a castle. Now the outpost is down. And look at how fast these camels are going to slice through Mangudai. Wow. On the other side of the map, oh my goodness. The charge of the camel brigade here. But Meat Shield is doing what Meat Shield is supposed to be doing, and with a few food-only hussars, Barles manages to block that entire attack as he pivots north to try to lame the castle. I mean, again, this is just fantastic movement out of our Mongol, and this is pretty much how you're supposed to play these cavalry archer-style civilizations. Berbers is the same thing. Castle lamed at 70%. Camels are running forward. They still are faster than these Mangudai at 1.6 to 1.54. Okay, maybe not perhaps the greatest time to just stop. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right. The Viper thought he was going to bring in 16 villagers. If he brought in those 16 villagers, they would basically be 16 dead villagers. But he's going to try nonetheless. His army is stuck off to the right. I was going to say, this may not be the best use of this unit at the moment. But here we go. The Viper is going to try to push these units off. And they have done so. The Mangudai have been successfully pushed away. And oh, they're kind of screwed here. I wanted to say drop the F-bomb, but they're kind of... Is he going to try to tread them down? No. Oh, Viper, you silly... No, okay, it's for the outpost. They are screwed, are the Mangudai here. What a fantastic get here by the Viper with the high ground castle, completing shreds through this entire... Well, don't leave now. Don't leave now. How many are left here? 4 left. You got to finish this. Come on. You can't leave even one alive. No quarter asked. No quarter given as the last of these Mangudai fall. But you know what? Barles, he's got 43 more on the way. Ah, yeah. 43 Mangudai. What the hell do you do against 43 Mangudai? Looks like a pesky, annoying Hussar is raiding to the back here. What are these outposts? What is this house? What is this game as the players are tearing into one another? Now, to be fair, the Hindustanis, if they wanted to, could also get their own Hussars out. Now, they don't come with 30% more HP like the Mongol ones do, and streaming them in one at a time is definitely not a winning strategy. But if the Viper did want to, he is definitely adding more stables. He's got the gold for it, and he's got 5 seconds away. Who am I to say anything to the Viper? Of course, by the time I say it and think it, it is already a Hindustani reality. I don't think he even really needs to wall this in. This is closed, is it not? Did the Viper just not... Yeah, the Viper just didn't explore this. Okay. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Why vision is important. Because he really did not need to pull these 2 villagers off of their labors. And now we're going to get about as messy a game as we possibly can as Hussars try to raid as many villagers and farms as they can while camels try to catch up. What will the Mangudai do? Who the hell knows? We'll keep an eye on these units as they rush in to kill lumberjacks of all things from the low ground against the high ground castle. I mean, this is a pretty risky move here, but he managed to get a treb. And again, no murder holes. So if he wanted to, in theory, could potentially just shove his Mangudai right underneath here. And for all that, he only lost 2? Okay, 3. 2 more Ghulams, 1 more Ghulam, 0 Ghulams are out on the field. And it looks like all of the rear attacks by our Mongol have stopped. The Viper's down only 6 vills. We're 50 minutes into the game. He's down about 70 kills in total. Oh my god, Barles has killed 66 villagers to 13. And the last thing you want to be doing as you try to replace your army count of flesh and blood food costing units like camels and hussars is have to dump in, even at a 23% discount, to dump in your food into villager count. Where are the trebs for our Mongols? He's training 6 of them. I don't see. Do you see a single one on the map? There it is, slowly wheeling its way forward. Ooh, Mangudai try to form a box formation. Doesn't really work out for them very well as a few of them get sniped, but sniping camels on the way back. Not a bad get there for Barles as well, who continues to raid and attack. Villager kill count growing to 71. And this time he's brought reinforcements. This is going to be a much scarier push. This is where, again, the meat shield comes into play. And Barles is happy to trade out Hussars for Camels. Why the hell not? It doesn't really seem like it's enough to one-shot. Actually, maybe it is. Although, who knows with these units being damaged as much as they are. Their HP as low as it is. Okay, so let's see what's going on around the map. The Viper finally found that tertiary gold mine that we saw in the beginning of the game. He is slaughtering the gold miners. He's also now shoving himself into the rear of Barles' base as he tries and fails to attack this gold mine. I love that Barles is bringing his Mangudai, but I ask again a second time, where the hell are your trebuchets? Okay, they're up here. You've got 5 of them. 2 of them are attacking the high ground castle. 3 of them are wheeling forward. Okay. Our Mongol has retreated temporarily from this location, which means the Viper is free to kill all of the gold miners. Not too sure what's going on with these Hussars here derping out. He's back again, but there's no gold miners for you to kill anymore. And so now you find yourself facing off against the castle. Of course, Barles also does not have murder holes. Army count 87 to 66. Let's see a titanic clash, because I honestly don't know who would win that. I mean, our Mongol has 34 Hussars, 36, 4,200 HP against the 3,400 HP of the more numerous Hindustani Hussars. There's your 30% extra HP. Hindustani catches a bunch of lumberjacks as they try to sneakily jack their wood in the back of the map here. You can't really keep to yourself anymore on this map. Not with these mobile armies, not with the exploration. But look at this, the Viper stuck around long enough to see his opponent try to do the same thing that he was doing by sneakily mining gold over here. The problem is, there is a giant blue blob that is slowly taking down infrastructure. Both castles are down. Gold mine is available now. Stone patch still has 148 stone, which, to be fair, Barles can take and use for another castle, because he's at 556. So that stone patch has just enough for one more castle. Hussars are taking down infrastructure. Looks like they killed more camels, more villagers. At the same time, the Viper says, hey, you know what the best thing for me to do? I'm going to just shove my 36 Hussars into who knows where, as Barles shows up yet again. Now, I don't know what the Viper thinks he's doing here. There's no more villagers here. There's also 277 stone here. Barles with a town center trying to make his villagers a little bit safer against raiding. We'll see if the Viper is more successful at denying the TC than Barles was earlier with those spearmen. He is not. Does manage to get a few villager kills. And the Mongol Hussars are here, but the real action is in the center of the map where the Viper, ooh, looks like he wanted to sideswipe this army, go for the Trebs, but he's not here. He should have gone north, maybe try to pull these blue Hussars out of the way, and now he charges in. Silly Mongol house blocking the Hindustani attack. But the meat shield isn't there for the Mangudai, so they're being hounded by the camels. And the players divide the army into three, or the battle rather, into 3 groups. To the west, the Viper has crushed through the Mongol Hussars. To the center, his camels have fallen to the lightning fast Mangudai, but to the east, the expensive trebuchets are now being hounded. 2 of them have fallen. 3 of them, 4 of them have fallen. Only 2 survive, and they are being swarmed like yours truly at a Pizza Hut buffet. And the last one, like the last slice of pepperoni pizza, falls as well. Ouch. 6 trebuchets down the shitter. Not too sure who has any kind of advantage here over the other player here, but the problem is, much like yesterday where the Arbalesters were left alive, right now the Mangudai are being left alive, and they've got 134 kills. Will they be able to go after the Trebs? Brute force trauma here. Okay, a group of them do peel off. They will kill those Trebs fairly quickly. The Viper knows that. The Viper taps out. His entire army gone. He's down to 19 army count over 65 of his opponent. But to be fair, 19 army count, literally 3 of it is here. And here it is. Look at their HP of the 3. All 3 of them together make up 1 normal HP for 1 unit. And now the Mangudai are going to snipe the Trebs, and the Viper knows, and wow, What a game. Look at the kill count. Almost triple the villager kills. 145 to 56. Almost 200 more kills. It's like 183 more kills or 177 more kills, whatever the number is for our Mongol. Wow. But like I said earlier on, Barles playing the Mongols the way the Mongols should be played. 1 second they're over here, slashing at your left flank. 1 second they're over here, slashing at your right flank. The Viper, to be fair, for a player who didn't wall in his base at all, surviving 58 minutes against a Mongol onslaught is very impressive. But doing it off the back of 23 stables is amazing. Let's take a look at the Mongol stable count. 7 stables, 5 castles, brings a military-industrial complex up to 12 structures compared to the Viper's 23. Wow, that is fantastic. And by the way, spreading them out like this is also brilliant, because if these 4 fall, you have 19 elsewhere. If these 6 fall here, you have 17 elsewhere. If these fall, you still have the ones in the center and the left. The Viper, I mean, this is beautiful. This is like box art. Unfortunately, his army, he just runs out of gold, even though he's got 4 relics. Did the 5th relic never get taken? Where even is the 5th relic? I don't see it anywhere. Maybe there's some monk somewhere holding that relic for the longest time. I don't see. Actually, there's only, yeah, there you go. I was looking at the top thinking, you know what? I don't see a monk anywhere, but no, there's one yellow monk and he's all the way over here, just hanging out. It looks like a bit of cloud of dust. So I think the Viper was returning home with that relic. Yeah, finally realizing that he was missing that final relic, and so close, just maybe another minute and he would have gotten all 5 relics. But unfortunately, all 5 relics eventually help you. And did he ever get he did get Grand Trunk Road, so his commodity trading fee reduced to 10%, his gold income up by 10%. So these relics, instead of 35, probably should have netted him 32 or 3,300, depending on when he got Grand Trunk Road, because of course, as a caster, I probably should have seen that, but I did not. I apologize. Unfortunately, all the relic gold in the world in 5-10 minutes doesn't mean jack nothing, because these Mangudai are here, and at the end of the day, 55 Mangudai, 155 kills, literally 3 kills per Mangudai, just about. And there is nothing the Viper has. There's nothing the Viper can do. And to be fair, as dangerous as this army is, again, Mangudai are not going to destroy buildings with their 12 attack, no bonus against buildings, and 11 pierce armor on any structure, right? So they're not exactly building destroying units. Unfortunately, the Viper didn't know when another trebuchet would show up, but his opponent is actually broke. Did the Viper GG too early? Should he have waited a few more minutes? How many villagers on food did he have? 84 vills on food to Barles' 58. I'm going to call this as a questionable GG until we look at the stats. Let's take a look at the stats and see. Maybe maybe it's not so questionable. Hussar count basically identical. Mangudai to camel count basically identical. I love that Barles' 3rd most trained unit is a trebuchet. And skirmishers. How many archery rangers did he have at the end of the day? Can't be more than 2 or 3, right? Yeah, 2 only. He abandoned the skirmisher play, thankfully for our sake, to make the game more entertaining very early. And look at the Viper's APM right at the end of the game, microing his heart out during the battle, middle of the game for Barles. And let's see what the numbers look like here. Yeah, about 10% bigger economy. Once you remove the relic gold, even bigger disparity here economically. 5,000 more wood. Wow, even with the relic gold, the Viper is down about 4,000 gold. Okay. Well, unfortunately, no more camels for you in the immediate future, although he does have a lot more gold than his opponent. A little bit more stone and a little bit more food for our Hindustani. But as the game goes on, this number is going to grow and grow and grow. This number is going to grow. The disparity is going to grow as well. One whole conversion to 0, 12 raisings to 6. Again, it wasn't that kind of game where, buildings were destroyed over and over and units were converted. This was more of let's slash at each other, then we'll build our big old armies. First of all, how epic was that get of Mangudai here? Unfortunately for the Viper, Barles replenished that with 43 Mangudai. And this, I wish I could see how many mackerels and tunas and shorefish and box turtles these fishing ships collected. But kudos to Barles for making use of the water in the rear of his map. Unfortunately, again, I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the res collected. I'm looking at the armies. And as big and scary as this army is, there's no treb here. there's no siege of any kind. There's capped rams, but there's no siege rams. There's mangonels, there's no onagers, no siege engineers. And so as scary as this army is, you've got 23 stables. You've got 84 villagers on food. You're the Hindustanis with cheaper villagers. Let me know in the comments below, should the Viper have GG'd, or should he maybe stuck around for just a few minutes longer? Just a few minutes. If he knew how much more broke his opponent was than him. Barles has enough food for 12, 13 more hussars. Viper's got enough food and gold for a few more camels. By the way, more stone than his opponent. And this stone is still mineable. Barles is making no attempt to claim this stone at all. So just a little bit more, and you've got yourself another castle. Not that you really need a castle as the Hindustanis here, unless you want to, plop it down defensively against Hussar raids. But I think the villager kills 145 to 56 may have been a bit too much of a bee sting to ignore. And the Viper just taps out, lives to fight another day. And it is Barles with the amazing Mongol control this game. What an absolute clinic. He walled himself in, immediately made use of the dock to the rear, pumped out his army, slashed left, right, center, forward portion, back portion. He was literally everywhere like an absolute Mongol whirlwind. Like, what's the word I'm looking for? What was the word when the Mongols tried to invade Japan, and they're the kamikaze winds? Just like an absolute whirlwind. Barles was everywhere, and with that Mongol army control, he takes the W. But GG in a very contested game to both players.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.